/askreddit. What product did you use wrongly for a long time before realizing you were using it wrong? I have very strong curly hair. My mother taught me to shampoo my hair every day, and that people with short hair don't need to condition their hair, and would make me comb my hair with a fine-tooth comb dry. I just made everyone with curly hair dye. I was doing this for so long I didn't realize I had curly hair until a year or two ago when I found out I was cleaning my hair wrong. Coasters. I thought for a long time that it is used to cover drinks glass if you want to leave it unattended for a bit. Lint rollers have layers of peelable sticky material. I just assumed you got the surface area of one lint roller, then had to get rid of it. I've wasted years owning multiple cats thinking lint rollers were incredibly wasteful. Then I saw my fiancé using one recently and my whole world imploded. Bobby pins. The zigzaggy side goes into the head to help grip the hair. I thought it went upwards for decorative purposes. Kool-Aid. I rediscovered the wonders of Kool-Aid in college when my roommate and I realized we could get one of those giant 2-quart Gatorade bottles and refill them with Kool-Aid, thus giving us cheap, flavorful drinks we could bring to campus and not care much if we lost the bottle. Since neither of us had made it in at least 6 years, we glanced at the label and saw that it needed 1/3 cup of sugar for each packet. Great. We mixed it, it tasted good, and away we went. We were making this up in front of someone and they asked why we used so little sugar. Apparently the base recipe called for 1 cup, literally making the mix about 1/8 sugar. We were following the instructions for making Kool-Aid ice cubes, to be added to Kool-Aid, of course. And people wonder why American diabetes rates are skyrocketing. You don't need to peel garlic if using a press, probably my least favorite thing to do in a kitchen, so I loved learning this. No one showed me how to use tampons properly. Used to just stick the plastic up there, never understood why it didn't work. Ashamed to admit this went on longer than I'm proud of. Cologne. To make my special parts smell more special, it sure did sting for a while. In 6th grade me and my friends found a pack of unused condom on the ground. We knew it was used to prevent babies, but didn't know how. So we used to blow it like a balloon and keep it on our stomachs, belly button, thinking that the baby would just die in there if we did it. Apparently you're not supposed to stick Q-tips in your ears, but I literally can't think of any other use for them. Doctors telling you shouldn't stick Q-tips into your ear is like priest telling you should not masturbate. You know it's wrong, but it just feels too good. Sliced ginger. I would usually eat a slice in between each bite of food. This went on for like 6 months when I was 11 years old. Then someone told me you're only supposed to eat a piece when switching to a different food to cleanse your palate. Laughed in American. I put the ginger on the food like a topping. You can eat ginger any way you want. I hate food customs, tbh. I love ginger and put it on top of my sushi, and in ramen too. I just don't care. Like the flavor. Is it good to cleanse the palate? Yep. But who cares? I remember once Googling how to eat a pupusa. Then I went to a place that had only served pupusas. I was the only white person in the place, and they were delicious. But I discreetly watched people to see how to eat them, not wanting to look like a white idiot. Some used a knife and fork, some picked them up flat, some folded them and picked them up. I stopped worrying and just loved me some pupusas. Not me, but my brother. There was a while in our teens when it was his chore to clean the washrooms in the house. Right after he would wash the bathroom, everything would feel off. Apparently he was washing every single surface in the washroom with toilet bowl cleaner. After that he wasn't allowed to clean the bathrooms anymore. I still don't know if he honestly didn't know not to, or whether this was his plan to get out of washroom duty. Not necessarily a product, but I always thought a pony was just a baby horse. I just learned the truth a few months ago. I'm 46. Edam. Apparently you're not supposed to eat the shell. My roommate had a good laugh at me. A woman I worked with, her mom would make authentic tamales and sell them on site for $6 per dozen. One of our friends bought 6 dozen yet said he had never had them before. On the day they were delivered I went to this friend's office to see what he thought of them. His reply: they're pretty tasty, but the corn husk is kinda difficult to chew. He had eaten 4 of them before I told him you were just supposed to unwrap them. I found out that my mom has been doing laundry incorrectly her entire life. For context, we have a washing machine which loads from the top, and you put the detergent in the same place where you put the clothes. There's no separate area where you put the detergent. The lid of the washing machine has very clear instructions which tell you to add the detergent, then add the clothes, then set the wash cycle, then start the washer. The instructions are on the bottom of the lid, so you would only see the instructions while the lid was open. Back when I had graduated from college, but was still living with my parents, my mom asked me if I waited for the water to get halfway up before adding the detergent. I asked, "What do you mean?" And she asked, "Do you add the detergent right after you start the washer, or do you wait a few minutes?" I said I add the detergent before I start the washing machine. My mom said that's not the way you're supposed to do it. I said yes it is, that's what the instructions say. My mom said bring them up here and I look at them. I said it's physically printed on the washer itself. Then my mom went over to the washing machine and I showed her the instructions. She said this looks really complicated. Then I explained that it clearly had add measured detergent as step 1, add sorted load as step 2, set controls, with a detailed list of all the settings, as step 3, and start washer as step 4. My mom was shocked. It turned out that she would start the washer before putting in the clothes, so there was water pouring into the empty washer. Since the washer loaded from the top, none of the water would spill out. Then, when the water got halfway up, she would add the detergent. Then she would add the clothes. But even after I explained how to do it correctly, she still continues to do it the incorrect way. Edit: this is for liquid detergent. I had a meat thermometer that was not meant to be left in the meat as it roasted. I left it in a turkey. It stopped working, but it was an old-fashioned one that had a physical needle that turned as it heated. The needle stuck saying the temp was way too low. By the time I figured it out the turkey was ruined. Thanksgiving was mashed potatoes, green beans and shoe leather. At least there was also pie. I used to barely inhale cigarettes. Then, once I was called out about it and realized that's what I was doing, I corrected my inhaling and really became addicted. Got up to a pack and a half a day. After smoking for 10 years and trying to quit 10 times coincidentally, I finally was able to quit in 2013 for good. Noxzma. I thought it was lotion until a couple years ago I actually read directions on the container that tell you to wash it off, because it's a face wash I guess. I've always used it on my hands like lotion, or on sunburns. My grandma used it as lotion for her whole life, and I just never knew it was a cleanser you wash off. She had the best skin of anyone until the day she died. Earphones with the longer and shorter strings. Treadmill still can't find out what it does. I can't really seem to go anywhere while on it. I would always get a ton of cuts from shaving and I just assumed that I was bad at shaving. Eventually my razor broke and I got a new one which was amazing and I never got cuts from it. The problem was that I was using generic blades for my old razor, and my new razor came with the blades from the razor company. This is why you should never use generic blades. Some medicine bottles have a cup to measure out the amount of medicine you should take. I never saw the lines on them and just thought that his was a normal lit, so I used other measuring cups to get the right amount. Remember those airplane vitamins? They were like the size of a quarter. I used to fly for work 2x a month. One time it was cold season, so I bought a tube of them. I figured I would prepare by having one right before takeoff. I popped it in my mouth like a giant Surt's mint, and immediately my eyes started watering and I thought I was biting into a lemon. I pulled it out and read the tube to figure out how I'm supposed to use it. I decided to try again. Same thing happened, but this time I decided to just chew it and get it over with. Before I knew it, my mouth was frothing this orange foam and I was doing everything I could to swallow it before it went all over my face and down my neck and onto my blouse. The blouse that I was wearing to my work meeting as soon as I landed in Houston. I only found out how to use it when the air steward exclaimed he hated the taste of them as he was handing my water. I replied, I know. As soon as I bit into it, this orange foam was everywhere. He literally looked at me for a hot minute and then laughed hysterically. He says to me, "Sweetie, it's like an Alka-Seltzer, you're supposed to drop it in water, not eat it like a cookie." I lost it and laughed so hard, snorts and all, the head flight attendant had to shush me. Bananas. I used to cut the stem with a knife to peel until I saw a monkey just squeeze the other end and peel effortlessly. Yep, monkeys were smarter than me for like half my life. Not me and not necessarily a product. Cheese isn't a big part of my local food culture. My Asian mom would buy Kraft cheese slices and string cheese, but nothing more than that. She decided to step up her cheese game and got some Babybel cheese. One day, to my horror, I witnessed her biting into the goddamn cheese coated with red wax. Apparently, she'd been eating it that way thinking the wax was part of the experience, and like many frugal mothers, she just endured the wacky taste of a big red cheesy candle instead of throwing food out.